What's up guys, Extracify here. Welcome back to another gold making video. Now today's video is a bit special as we are quickly approaching 3,000 subscribers. I figured I would do a Q&A style video. So in Monday's video, I asked you guys to leave your questions and comments below relating to gold making, personal life, you guys just want to get to know me a little better, anything like that. And you guys definitely supplied the questions. So I'm pulling questions from that video's comment section or also some other common questions I get on my other videos. Thank you all so much for the support as always. We are so close to 3,000 subscribers. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into these questions. Alright, so the first question comes to us from Cryan2011. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for your question. How much time do you spend farming versus actually playing the game? Now this is a really good question. I get this question a little bit, and to be honest, gold making is my favorite way to play the game. When I am playing the game, I most likely am farming something, but I do like to run like heroics or low level mythic plus dungeons on my resto druid. But in general, probably a good portion of my time is farming. Now on average, I play about 2 to 3 hours a day, as I am usually working or spending time with my girlfriend other than that. So probably about a good hour and a half or 2 hours I'm farming each day, with a little bit of time not farming, whether that be just checking auctions or recording for a video, or on the rare occasion I'm leveling another character. So yeah, farming on average about 2 hours a day, and then playing around, checking the auction house, or just leveling at alt for about half an hour to an hour each day. Alright, for the next question we have the Angry Snowman. Love that name, by the way. Appreciate the question. The Angry Snowman says, how do you know what transmogs will actually sell, or do you just hope? Now obviously, if you have seen the channel before, my main way of making my gold is through transmog. Now transmog is a hotly debated topic. Some people say it doesn't sell, some people love transmog like myself, and it all depends firstly what realms you're on. Now higher population realms will see faster sales of transmog, and lower population realms will struggle with sales. But it always comes down to the sale rate of the transmog is the best indicator of telling you which transmogs will sell. Now if you have the add-on trade skill master, you can see the sale rate of most transmog items basically by just hovering over the item, and it will display it on the tooltip. That is the number one best way to go. Obviously, higher the sale rate, the higher you have a chance of selling it. But transmog is never 100%, and part of it is just hoping that it will sell. Now, if you're new to transmog farming, you have to know that it is a very long-term gold making method. If you go and farm a dungeon for some transmog and expect to get some sales the very next day, more than likely you won't be getting very many sales. So the main thing with transmog selling is just be patient. Alright, the next question comes to us from Power Glove Destroyer 8464. And they asked, hi, what kind of add-ons are you using for gold farming? Now I do have a video on my channel going over my top 10 add-ons for gold farming and gold making, so I'll leave that in the description if you want a more in-depth answer. But in quick summary, I use Trade Skill Master, Bagnon, Loot Appraiser, Mogget, and if you're using Gathering Professions, I love using Farm HUD. Now obviously there are plenty more, and my video goes more in depth, so make sure to check the description for that. Alright, our next question comes to us from Toxidotty. Definitely recognize that name. Thank you for all of the support. I've seen you in the comments on a bunch of my videos. Thank you. Now Toxidotty says, if you don't have the appearance for a really cool, really expensive transmog, do you learn it or do you sell it? Cheering you on for the road to 3K subs, so thank you very much for that. And this is a hard question to answer. I would say overall it obviously depends. In general, I would say though, because I am a greedy gold making goblin, I would say if the really cool expensive transmog is worth like 20,000 gold or more, or maybe 30,000 gold or more, depending on how cool the item is. I would usually prefer just selling it because I'm greedy and I like gold. But yeah, it definitely depends on the item for sure. In general though, I usually sell it. Alright, the next question comes to us from Facetious Tom Miller 63. And they asked, what do you do in your real life job? LOL, when you're not making awesome vids to help us grow our bank stacks, that is. Thank you for the question, Tom Miller. And yes, obviously I don't do YouTube full time. I just do it because I love you guys and it's very, very fun to make these videos for you. In my personal life though, I work in the restaurant business and my goal is to go into AC tech and repair and have my own like AC repair business. But I mean, let's be honest, I would love to do YouTube full time, so if you want to support that, make sure to subscribe. The next question is a previous video question, but it comes to us from StormK1130. Now they asked, yeah, but which server is best to sell transmog on? Now this is a question that I get literally all the time, so I wanted to include it in this video. And in terms of this question, you have to take it as a bit of a trade-off. Now, higher population realms will obviously sell transmog better, and in my experience, I even realm transferred some of my characters to a full pop from a medium pop because I just didn't like the amount of sales I was getting. That's how I ended up on Storm Rage, by the way. But yeah, if you're serious about transmog farming and you want to go all in, you may need to transfer realms. It's the harsh reality, but if you're serious about it, you may have to do that. I did that, and I saw a huge boost in my sales. Now, with that being said, though, if you're okay with not having daily sales and having much higher price transmog, then medium or even low pop might be better for you. Now, obviously, with transmog, in order to see daily sales, you need to have a huge inventory of that, so don't farm up 100 pieces and not see sales in a week and then transfer realms. You have to have like well over 1,000 pieces of transmog in order to see daily consistent sales. But yeah, it's a bit of a trade-off. I would say higher pop realms have lower prices for the transmog, but you sell them more frequently, versus lower pop realms have higher prices of the transmog, but you're not going to be moving them nearly as fast. The next question comes to us from SillyGoose501. Thank you for your question. And Silly Goose said, how many times would you relist a lower level green transmog before vendoring it? They also said, what's your personal time limit on farming an item before you give up? Thank you for your videos. They always inspire me to turn on the computer and get farming. So thank you for the questions. I'm glad these videos inspire you. And to answer the first question, I don't really pay attention to it. Sometimes I'll notice when relisting my auctions, if an item that I've had for a while, I'll just kind of like notice how long it's been, and I'll then go ahead and check the sale rate of an item. If it's very, very low, like 0.002 or something like that, I'm usually just vendoring it, to be honest. Now there is a Trade Skill Master tooltip that you can check how many times since it's sold, like how many times you've relisted the item, and you can then set like a mental threshold. Maybe it's like 30 times you've relisted it and hasn't sold, then it won't relist the item and then you can just vendor it. But personally, it's up to you, especially if the item is more expensive, it won't sell as fast, so take that into account as well. But yeah, I don't really pay attention to it all that much, personally. That's just because I'm a bit lazy. But moving on to your next question, Silly Goose, we have, what's your personal time limit on farming an item before you give up? Now this is interesting because it can definitely vary. Now if I'm farming like a battle pet, it's probably like 1 or 2 1-hour sessions. So for example, if I'm farming like the Firefly or one of the Whelplings, and I spend a couple hours there, maybe 1-hour session here, 1-hour session there, and I don't get it, I'm probably just giving up and moving on to the next item until I decide to try again. But in general, if it's a fun farm, I'll usually come back to it pretty soon after. Just kind of depends on the item itself though. Alright guys, and that's all we have for today's video. Thank you very much for the questions, and maybe I'll do a part 2 of this, you never know. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments below if you want me to do a part 2 of this. Thank you all so much for the support as always. We are so close to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for that support as always. You guys are absolutely amazing and I love you all. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching today's video. Good luck in your auction house sales and I'll see y'all in the next gold making video.